Dear students, welcome to the 18th lecture of 8051 timer/counter. So in the last section we have studied the basic of counter programming. So now we'll take up the first example of counter. Let me read the statement first. So design a counter for counting the pulses of input signal. The pulses to be counted are fed to pin P3.4. They have given crystal frequency 22 megahertz and we need to use mode 1 mode of operation. Let me read once again. Design a counter for counting the pulses of input signal. The pulses to be counted are fed to pin 3.4. From this pin there are pulses which are coming and we need to count the number of pulses. Okay. So before going to start with the coding, let me read some statements, the most important statements that we need to follow up for a counter programming. So in this we are using timer 1, T1 is used as a timer for 10 milliseconds. So assumption is you can take any amount of time. Now what I am doing is I am taking 10 milliseconds of time, and for that I am using timer 1. Okay, during this 10 milliseconds of time, right, timer 0 is used as a counter with the input pulses fed into the pin 3.4. Hope these two statements are clear. Say what we are doing in this example is we are taking 10 milliseconds of time. Okay, in this 10 milliseconds of time we are counting the number of pulses which are coming from pin 3.4. So for that purpose we are using both the timers, timer 1 which is used as a timer of 10 milliseconds. In that the timer 0 is used as a counter to count the number of pulses which are coming from P3.4. Okay. Now at the end of 10 milliseconds, the value in TL0 and TH0, T0 is acting as a counter. The value TL0 and TH0 gives the number of pulses, okay, that were received at pin 3.4 during this 10 milliseconds. Hope these statements are clear. Now we will start with the program, how we need to start up the programming. So first, as usual, the first practice, we need to give the information of T mode. Okay, T mode means here we are using both the timers. One timer is acting as a timer and one timer is acting as a counter. Timer 1 as a counter, timer 0 as a counter. By default gate value is equal to 0, and here C stash T bar is equal to 1 for both for this case, and for this case C stash T bar is equal to 0. Okay, and we are in mode 1. So after putting all these values I will get hash 15. Okay, that value is to be given to T mode, that is move T mode comma hash 15h. Now I am getting the pulses from pin 3.4, so this will be acting as an input pin now. So in order to do so we have to set that particular pin, that is input port, set B P3.4. This from using this instruction it will come to know to the 8051 that this pin is acting as an external input pin P3.4. Now initially the resistors of T0 are to be equal to 0, right? T0 is nothing but the counter. We have to make 0 for both the resistors. Next, start the counter. TL0, TH0 is made as equal to 0, 0. Next, we have to start the counter. Now the counter has been started. Now we should calculate the timer resistors. Here the time that we have taken is 10 milliseconds. You need to calculate the value of TL1, TH1 as we have calculated for the last examples of timers. You just see those examples, you will come to know that how we can take the values of TL1 and TH1, give the values, load initial count for the timer, right? T0 is acting as a counter, T1 is acting as a timer. Okay, start the timer now. So when the timer starts, at the same instant of time the counter has been also started. So now from 0 milliseconds it will start up to 10 milliseconds it will start. Okay, up to 10 milliseconds the timer will start. So within this period so we need to check whether this timer has been reached to the final set or not. That means whether 10 milliseconds is over or not. For that purpose we are checking the value of TF1. If it is equal to 1, come out of that, stop the timer, right, by making TF value is equal to 0, and by making 0 for timer, that is TR1 is equal to 0, right. So from 0 milliseconds to 10 milliseconds, this is a timer, right, this is the timer. From this portion to this portion the counter will be in activated state. Am I right? Counter will be in the activated state, that is T0, right. So there should be some value inside from this part to this part, that is the number of clock pulses which are calculated. So that will be stored in TL0 and TH0, right. So hence TL0 is moved to the accumulator, the same accumulator value is copied to P2. Then the TH0 will be calculated, the number of pulses which are there in TH0 that will be sent to A, the same value is put on to P1. So from P1 and P2 it will come to know that the number of pulses which are counted, that will be shown on P1 and P2, which are coming from the pin P3.4, right. So in order to repeat this process continuously we need to use sjump RPT, and the RPT is given to the the ACTB P3.4 instruction. So this is how we can write the program. So what is my conclusion with respect to this program of timer is, here I have made two statements here. The most important statement here, we are using timer 1 as a event counter, where it counts up as clock pulses are fed into pin 3.5. Please try to get this statement. Then these clock pulses could repeat the number of people passing through the entrance. If I want to calculate the number of persons coming at the entrance, we can use this counter. Or if I want to count the number of wheel rotations, we can use this particular example. Or if I want to calculate any other events that can be converted to pulse, then we can write this particular example. We can use this particular example. Just go through this example once again. If you get any questions, let me know through the comments. I will try to solve those questions. Thank you.